ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Team Lawrence. I'm your host, Pat Brock, the Public Information Officer for Lawrence County Schools. And we are here on the campus of the East Lawrence Falcons, and we're highlighting our star student, who is Josh Mullis to my right, and then the great Jonathan Sin as the star teacher. Congratulations to you both.
Thank you, ma'am.
This is exciting because I've seen both of you in action. I feel like I kind of know you, like we're part of the family, right? So Josh, when you first learned that you were star student, what was your reaction to that?
My reaction was, gosh darn it, I have to write an essay.
But listen here though, for you, I mean, you're in the history books now. You're going in the history books. You open up that yearbook 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now, we're going to see you and Mr. Sin. So this is really a testament to the type person that you are. So write every essay you need to, son, okay? Mr. Sin, my. Hold on for a second. Now, Josh, you selected Jonathan Sin
Yes, ma'am.
as your star teacher. Tell us, what was your thought process in that?
My thought process was, well, I've been with him for 8 years now, so
Wow.
why not give him a reward for it?
Look at that. And you didn't quit one time, did you?
Oh, man.
Mr. Sin. Now,
Yes, ma'am.
you and I go way back.
Oh, yeah.
For Josh to select you as his star teacher, talk to us about what that feels like for you and the relationship that you two have.
Well, just to be selected as star teacher, to me, is one of the greatest honors as a teacher, because you never know what impact you're having on someone if if they hate your guts because you're fussing at them on a band field,
Right.
or if they're just getting into what you're saying and following what they're supposed to do. And Josh has always been a very successful band student. He's done everything that he needs to do. He's been an outstanding performer.
Right.
And so for anyone to nominate me, it's an honor. But for Josh, as talented as he is, to recognize it is truly a great honor.
I love that. And you've been on this train for a long time, right? How many
It's
years?
been a minute. This is year 28.
Year 28. Oh, I love that. We're going to delve into your career from how you first started, Mr. Sin, into where you are now. But let's talk with Josh briefly. Josh, talk to us a little bit about yourself, okay? Talk to us about the things that you're involved in here at East Lawrence, and talk to us about how not just your senior year, but your high school experience has been. And you've been a part of the Band of Gold for so many years, and that band is part of the fabric of all of the Falcons' lives. So go for it.
Well, of course I'm in band. I love music, and it's a great part of my soul.
Yeah.
But I'm also in the Interact Club, the Beta Club, the TSA Club, the Skills USA Club. I'm the president of the Spanish Honor Society, as well as, I think there's one more that I'm forgetting.
Have you always been this active?
I didn't start joining a bunch of clubs till last year when I realized there's so much more that I could do.
For sure. Talk to us about your family.
My father is Greg Mullis. He graduated from West Lawrence in the 80s, I think.
Right?
It's a long time ago.
Not that
Okay,
long.
wait a minute. I graduated in the 80s.
I didn't graduate in the 80s, but I'm close. Missed it by a couple.
Keep going, keep going.
He was a member of the West Lawrence band.
Oh, wow.
And he played the trumpet, one of the lead trumpet soloists, under the direction of Mr. Han, which I know that's a fan favorite around here.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
My mother, Stacy Mullis, she also graduated from West Lawrence High School as she was an honor graduate as well as involved in several clubs.
Wow. Are you an only child or do you have siblings?
I have a sister. Her name is Haley Mullis. She graduated as valedictorian of East Lawrence High School in 2019.
Haley's your sister? I'm just finding this out. I love that. And so here it is, your family, you come from a family of achievers and a family who are sound academically and of course musically. Their reaction to you becoming star student, what was that like?
They expected it.
Look at that. And here you are. all the things that you're involved in, how do you keep everything balanced? Because there's a lot, and I think that a lot of people see that students that are involved in so many different extracurricular activities, and it's like you and myself, I think you've got to be able to keep that balance. So what do you do to keep the balance, to still be Josh, to still be able to have, time to decompress? What do you do to keep things balanced?
Well, I realized that you have to leave time for yourself. And so I leave time for myself playing video games or doing what I enjoy, playing music.
Stuff that doesn't, that just kind of clears your mind, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. All right, Mr. Sin,
Yes,
talk
ma'am.
to us, man. Talk to us about your family. Talk to us about your career in education and as a musician and the method to your madness.
The method to my madness. Give the secrets away?
Just a few of them.
No, I have a lovely wife, Maria Sin. We've been together, this will be 25 years in November. We have two sons, one John Eric, who was recently hired as a parapro here at East Lawrence. He's doing a phenomenal job, helps out with the soccer programs. Then my youngest son, Peanut, Riley Sin, he's a junior here. He plays on the soccer team. He's a percussion captain. So as far as family goes, we've been around here ever since I can remember. I graduated from East Lawrence in '91.
Yeah.
Went off to Georgia Southern. Had a stint in Toombs County. Come back here, and I've been here ever since 2003.
The kids love you. And-
Sometimes.
He named you star teacher, but you have such a way with the young people, and you're able to pull out the best out of them, whether it's for them their personality, but also as musicians. How are you able to do that to reach the students the way that you do?
I wish I could say, here is the secret, but it's truly, you hear teachers say, well, we nurture their talent. It's truly a lot of that.
Yeah.
You have to see these students as individuals, and each one of them's a little different. Sometimes just a kick in the pants to get one going in the right direction, or sometimes you have to kind of gently move them in the right direction. So you have to get to know the kids to get them to do the best that they can possibly do. And I try to strive to help them understand that their biggest problem in life is going to be overcoming what they perceive as that obstacle in their own mind. They're their own worst enemy.
Yeah.
If they can get out of their own way, as a more mature generation, not older, we always think, golly, these kids, they don't know anything. These kids are incredibly smart nowadays.
Right.
Just try to program an app on your phone and then get a kid to do it. I mean, they'll fly through it without any problems.
That's right.
So it's not that they don't have the capacity to do it. It's that they do it in a different way. And if you can realize that, humble yourself enough to actually go with that flow and get them moving. Like I said, once they get out of their own way, these kids are pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of getting them to believe in themselves. And so, as a teacher, that's one of the things that I think we can do the best at. It's just, give them the information they need, give them a little nibble,
Yeah.
let them start eating, and then when they get hungry again, well, I got something even better for you. And so that's what I try to do. And a lot of times these kids respond and they do amazing things.
So you don't give it to them all at once. You kind of.
Oh no,
Meet
you
them
give
with-
well, yes and no. We give them to it's we're fixing to have our spring concert coming up,
Yes.
and in January you give it to them all at once. We just had this yesterday in class. One of our pieces is a tough piece. I mean, it's an honor band type piece,
Wow.
and it's extremely difficult. And in January, we couldn't get through the first four measures, but it's like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
And that's-
So we have to, hey, we can play this part. Let's play this part. Now let's add this part. Hey, now we got all this. Let's back up a little bit and catch this. And to the point where now, running through it, is not an issue. It's fine tuning the details now. You know, the things you couldn't do in January because you've practiced and you've put effort into it and you've dedicated part of your focus to it. Now you can do it. And I always like those moments. I hate the fact that most of the time the best performances we have of music are usually in the classroom. You know, there's always those little. You know, you
Right.
sit there at the concert and you go, man, that was really good, but boy, we played that so much better last Tuesday. You
In
know,
the classroom.
In the classroom. But you know, that's good though, because it's special to us, because we can sit there and go, wow, look what we've accomplished.
Right.
And so that's, you know, and that's the greatest motivator. Once you've accomplished something like that, now we want to go do something even better.
Very good. So Josh, as you're listening to Mr. Sin, now you've been with him for how many years now?
8 years.
8 years. And what instrument do you play?
I play the tuba.
And you're the section leader?
Yes, ma'am.
When he was talking about how his way of making sure that you all not, grasp the concept and be able to perfect whatever that is, that task that you're doing, how have you been able to work with him to be able to perfect your craft?
If there's ever a problem with the rhythm or of a particular section of a piece of music, we could just ask Mr. Sin. He'll give us all the tools we need to fix our problems.
Wow. You know, Mr. Sin, since you've been on this road for so long, you're receiving your flowers while you're yet able to receive, your flowers. And I'm going to give just a personal note. You were the band director for my twin niece and nephews, Jonathan, for Temperance and Joy. And just recently, while they were they were performing in the parade, she sees him to me, it looked like a mile away. And she goes, Mr. Sin. And she runs to him, and it's like it's in slow motion. And so here it is, them graduating that many years ago, and how even when I mention you, they talk about how special you are to them. How does it feel for you to be able to see some of your old students and they're able to, just let you know how you've impacted their life? How does that feel for you?
Well, it's always a good feeling, because they could go so many ways.
Yeah.
I was once asked why I wanted to be a high school teacher, and I tell people, from the 9th grade year to the 12th grade year, so many decisions that you make during that time impact how your life plays out. It impacts your journey in such a way. Most people can think about and go back to those times and go, if I could have done this different, it would have went a different way. If I would have done this, I wouldn't, I would be in a better situation. Or thank God I didn't do that. I'm in a worse, or I'd have been in a worse situation. So it's always good to hear that. But I actually get more pleasure out of seeing them succeed.
Oh, wow.
I go get my hair cut from one of my flag girls, and so they're, gosh, I got students that are 30, 40 years old, and so I still call them girls and boys. So it's it's funny. I'm sure they think it's funny, but that's the way I think about them. I still see them in high school, but it's always a blessing to see them doing so well, and especially Temperance and Joy.
Yes.
They're on that good path, and just not only them, but so many from here.
Yeah.
I've always told them that if you would just come to East Lawrence and tell people, hey, look, this is where I came from.
Right.
You can make it. We have so many successful people come through these
Right.
halls that it's just amazing.
My daughter's one of them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now, Josh, talk to us a little bit about you. So here it is, you're a section leader. Now, are you the type person that you were kind of a born leader, or are you how do you get your section to get in line and to be able to learn the piece and to be able to perform it during concerts or any type of events, football, during the parades? How do you get your section to come together?
Well, I feel like one of the biggest things is just having that communionship of a brotherhood. And so really all we got to do is make sure we just enjoy it. If you enjoy something, you learn it faster.
You absolutely do. You said this brotherhood. So I always like to see, the Band of Gold, I know that you all are family. Talk to us about the relationships that you have with your peers, with your bandmates, and that connection that's helped you, for one, to be able to be that star student, how they have affected you in all of this.
My fellow bandmates have helped us through a lot. We've been through a lot together.
Yeah.
Just like last year with Brianna Dice.
Yeah.
So it's just us being there for each other. It's our communionship.
When they lost a bandmate last year, Brianna Dice, and I remember when I came, I think it was probably the day after, coming to, the classroom and what I felt and what I, saw with my own eyes was I saw such love between each and every one of you, and just the I can't even describe it. I don't think that I can describe it, and I think that I fell in love with the Band of Gold even more through the hard times of what you've experienced. And Mr. Cian, for you, how has, and I know how it's affected you more than what you have shown, how have you been able to corral, I'll ask this for both of you, everyone together through these hard times? How have you been able to still gel together?
Well, I don't think it's I don't think it's difficult at all, because like Josh says, it is a brotherhood. I mean, you're going through the struggles of the preseason when we're doing marching band camp,
Yep.
and you're going through, and I'm not going to make it easy on them. That would be not good on my part. I want to push them, and so I want them to work. I want them to feel proud of the effort that they put forth. So they have to go through that struggle together.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I tell them is we're going to work hard, but we're going to play just as hard.
Yeah.
And just thinking about when Josh said about brotherhood, we just came back from North Carolina from a performance up there, and we spent 2 days at Carowinds, and I told them, I said, guys, I want you to take as many pictures as you can to make everybody else jealous. And so they did not disappoint. They flooded our team reach with so many pictures. But the thing about it is it was not this 4 people in all 4 pictures and these 2 people in all. It was these 4 people in this picture, but then all of a sudden one of those people were with these 4 people.
Right.
And so there's not a clique. It's you're one. I mean, not to sound like drumline, but one band.
Right.
That's and that's truly what it is, and it's amazing to see the kids from different backgrounds
Right.
that play different things, that have different interests, come together and to do those things. It's a magical thing.
I love it. Continue on with this magic from your perspective, Joshua.
So, with us being together and all, and the way Mr. Sin puts it, it's a brotherhood, and the way that we think of it together is we're here, we have to get it done, so let's get it done.
And that's what you all have been doing, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take a commercial break, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a few moments as we continue to with Mr. Jonathan Sin and Joshua Mullis, star student and star teacher.
Congratulations to the class of 2023 from Farmers State Bank. Life is filled with milestones, and Farmers State Bank would like to take this opportunity to salute all the graduates this year. Your hard work and determination is commendable, and everyone at Farmers State Bank would like to recognize the senior class of 2023. Farmers State Bank looks forward to building relationships and helping you reach the next milestone in your life. Remember, your future is as easy as FSB. Farmers State Bank, with locations in Dublin and Cadwell. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Spring is here and it's a perfect time to buy or sell your home or property, and great deals are popping up all over. So call agents Brian Howell, Charlene Lamb, Adam White, David Deeves, Jennifer Bradley, Mark Bateman, Jay Brantley, Jim Jarrett, Raina Dubberly, Yvonne Robertson, or broker George Durden today, and get the help you need when it comes to buying or selling your home or property. Log on to c21dublin.com. Call us at 272-1535 or stop by 1700 Veterans Boulevard in Dublin. Deal with the #1 realty company in Dublin and Lawrence County. Century 21 Durden Cornegay. Broker George Durden.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen, with Josh Mullis, our star student here at East Lawrence High School, and his star teacher selection, Jonathan Sin. You know, we've been talking a lot, before and of course during the break about just so many things that you all have experienced together, and you've yet still been able to be intact as a family, supporting one another. And here we go right here. Josh, when you think about this being your last things that are taking place for you, okay? You're gonna have to look towards the future. So talk to us a little bit about the plans that you all have in place for you after you turn that tassel.
Well, I start Georgia Southern in the fall. I have to go early August 1st for their marching band.
Wait a minute. Are you following in this guy's shoes now?
Yes.
Georgia Southern has such a phenomenal band program. You're a product of that.
Mm-hmm.
We've got so many students who have gone through those ranks as well, and several that are going. Now, what was it like for you to be? Did you have to audition? Tell us about that.
Yes, well, I had to audition early in the morning, February 4th, I believe. I had just gotten back from one in Alabama, Troy, Alabama.
Oh my gosh.
That one was, my nerves were shot.
So is it a brutal, just a whole everything? How was it?
It's pretty brutal. And then you hear all the other people you're competing against too. And it kind of gets in your head, but you have to push through.
Now, Mr. Sin, did you have to prep him? Did you kind of prepare him for this audition? Did you give him any pointers?
Well, yes and no. Like I said, Josh is one of those kids that he knows what he's got to do, and he'll do it. And so just kind of giving him, look, this is really what they're looking for. Make sure you do this. Those kind of hints.
Yeah.
Obviously he's a talented musician, so that part was not the concern. It was just making sure in the audition that you show the people that are on the panel that what you have and what you can offer their program, because really and truly that's what they're looking for, is what can you offer a program.
And Josh, you did it. This is exciting, isn't it? Now, and so for you, what do you have to do to prepare to make sure that you are able to compete collegiately with the other band members?
Well, I have other auditions I have to do as soon as I get as soon as I get into Georgia Southern. I have to audition for their concert band as well as.
Oh my gosh!
I'm thinking about the jazz band, but I'm gonna wait a little bit on the jazz band until next year.
Ease into it. So all of your experience with the Band of Gold, that has really helped you to be able to compete collegiately as a musician, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And so are you a music education major? Is that what you wanted? So you want to be able to teach.
Yes, ma'am.
He's a mini-me.
Oh my gosh. It's all coming together now. It's a miniature, Jonathan said. And so do you want to be able to bring that back here to East Lawrence, or do you want to broaden and go elsewhere?
I want to stay in Central Georgia, trying to give back to the community that has funded me.
Mr. Sin, as you're sitting over there as a proud papa, when you're hearing this young man, because you did this many years ago, when you're hearing what his desire is for his future, what are your thoughts?
Well, you sit there and you hear so many of them go, oh wow, Mr. Sin, I want to grow up and be a band director, and you go, yeah, okay, you're not going to make it. Just because of their demeanor,
Right.
and sometimes their work ethic. But when Josh said it, I was like, I could so see that. That's something, he has a passion for it. And I think that with him going to Southern, they'll give him the tools to do what he needs to do.
Right.
And I hope that I have taught him what to do and what not to do, and he gleans from that and becomes an outstanding director, which I have no doubt that he will. He'll be great.
As I'm listening to him and you, it's like you have been his mentor, young grasshopper, throughout the years, to be able to get him, for one, to have a love for music. And of course, I know your parents are like this, right? And so here it is, it's all coming together. It's like all of the work that you put into building the relationships that you have with these young people and building them as musicians.
Right.
This is part of that product.
Yep.
This is part of that. And you all have had a great season with soccer.
Yeah, well, we
You
tried.
you haven't even mentioned soccer. Talk to us about how this season has been going.
As far as soccer,
Yes.
look, this has been a fun season. We just played Woodville Tompkins. They were in our region last year. And, we as coaches, you always get together. And when we started that region, I told him, I said, man, I'm 2 years away. And he goes, really? I said, yeah, I'm 2 years away. I said, give me 2 years and I'm going to be something. And he was like, okay. And so last night when we played them, went into overtime, and we went over to the center and shook hands, the Woodville Tompkins coach goes, dude, you were right. You were 2 years away. And I'm like, yeah.
Wow.
I said, we got it. And, last night was disappointing. I'm probably a little hoarse sounding, just because of, trying to help those guys to achieve their potential. They fought well. I told Dr. Collins this morning, they would have made him proud. They did what no other soccer team for boys have done at this school.
Tell them what that is, sir.
And so that's
Tell them what that is.
they have their first playoff win.
Yeah.
They're the first ones to go too deep in the playoffs. They made Sweet 16. That hasn't happened over here at the program. We've had years where we've made region runner up, and we've hosted. This was the second time we hosted when we played Irwin, but I've been with the soccer program for a minute, and
How many minutes?
oh gosh, I tried to figure that up. It's been 16 or 17 years. I think it's 17. And out of 17 years, I mean, I was handed a great program. And so when I got it, up until now, we've only missed the playoffs 4 years. My first year, the year we redid the stadium down at the old school, and then the last 2 years because we were just in an incredibly tough region.
Right.
And we had just lost a big senior class when we went to that region. That's why I told those guys, I said, you got to give me 2 years, and then I'll give you something to worry about. And like I said, those guys, the dedication to their craft,
Right.
and their desire to do great things. They're as a teacher, you always try to make yourself unnecessary. And I try to think of, if I am not there, what will these kids do? And I get extreme amount of pleasure of whenever I have to be somewhere else and the band students are in there, and then one of the principals or one of the other teachers will go, you wasn't in there? Because they were playing their music, and they spent the whole time doing stuff. I mean, I don't think when the math teacher's out, those kids are like, okay, guys, let's get on the math problems.
Right.
You're going to have a few, but most of them are going to be like, woohoo, But they have a desire. And so my soccer boys, we don't practice on Fridays. Fridays are voluntary for them. They didn't care. They came on Fridays. They came on Saturdays. Heck, they came on some Sundays. If we were out, they were grinding. And the work that they put in this year showed. And look, I told the teacher this morning, I said, I can't wait for this season to start.
Wow.
And that teacher said, well, your season starts now.
Wow. You have put in so much work, and of course the fruit of your labor with Peanut and John Eric being such outstanding athletes, and what you're pouring into these young people on that field, you're helping them to believe that they can.
Well, like I said, they just need a place to shine.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got everything they need, and I'm proud of my soccer team and those guys for the effort that they put in. But I'm equally proud of my band students too. You
Yeah.
know, I told Maria the other day, they're not my students. They're boys and girls that I've taught. They're my kids.
They're your kids.
You know?
Absolutely, they are.
I feel bad when I see something bad happen to them, and I get excited whenever I see them, doing great things. Like we're fixing to have one of the Marion twins fixing to be a lawyer. That's
Yeah.
great. I always pick on them in class. I'm like, well, at least somebody will be able to get me out of jail. Or one that becomes a doctor, will at least be able to give me some medicine or
That's
something.
right.
So,
I
you know.
love that. I love that so much. Well, listen, this has really been a great opportunity for me to be able to chat with you both. I feel like I know you a little bit more now, and I can really appreciate who you are as individuals and who you all are together. Joshua, what kind of last words do you want to say to the people out there of Dublin, Lawrence County, that we may have missed, or anything you'd like for them to know about you?
I just want them to know that even when times are hard, just keep on trying.
Keep on trying. Mr.
Okay.
Sin, any last words?
No, I'm just grateful that I can be here, and that I'm excited for Josh because I know he's got a bright future ahead of him, and he's going to do great things, and I hope he'll be able to do great things around here.
For sure. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we have here for Team Lawrence, but you've had the opportunity to meet Josh Mullis, who is a star student here at East Lawrence High School, and Mr. Jonathan Sin, the star teacher. They're both outstanding individuals. We're so proud of who they are and how they represent us so well, and we look forward to the great things ahead. Mr. Sin, thank you for continuing to pour into these young people.
Thank you, ma'am.
Josh, cannot wait to see you out there. Go Eagles.